What's going on, Tackle Warehouse fans? Jake here, bringing you another episode of What's New at Tackle Warehouse. It's summertime. Hopefully you're getting a chance to get out there and do some fishing. You know, it's hard right now for everyone to get out and actually get out there and enjoy the water. Summertime's also, you know, super hard time to catch fish during these hot weather months around August, stuff like that. We got some super cool lures. Hope you put a few more fish in the boat during this tough time of the year. So the first couple, we got a few new Spinnerbaits from Picasso. These are all a part of their Inviz series. So the wire on these it's got more vibration and more flex than you would get with a traditional stainless steel wire. So it's made out of this tempered brown wire. So not only does it blend in, you get a lot more flash and vibration out of these wires. They come in double willow and Colorado willow, just like all the Picasso spinnerbaits and everything they make, frankly. Everything's super high quality, you know, great components. They have Sampo swivels on there, so you get, you know, just great blade rotation. These things just spin for days, and then their blades themselves are super high quality. Great head design, Mustad ultra point and hook, and then the Picasso skirts. They all come with these really fine silicone. It's an exclusive Picasso skirt. They're really good skirting material. It's almost gets that action of that old school living rubber, but in awesome silicone colors. Another one that's in the Inviz line as well, and be great for this time of the year, is their Rumbler blade. So the Rumbler blade, it's got this big oversized blade. It's actually a unique blade to Picasso. It's kind of a cross between an Indiana and a Colorado blade. And it's got special cupping to it. When you turn it sideways, you can see the top half is almost flat, and then it has a deep cup right down here in here in the bottom. So this blade thumps really hard, and you can fish it really quick, and it doesn't roll over or, you know, get sideways like some of the other you know, single blade spinnerbaits out there on the market with a big, you know, Colorado blade. So this thing tracks true all the time. This is gonna be great for going nighttime fishing. This is the time of year to be out at nighttime fishing. If you got a full moon coming around, make sure you get out there tonight. It's gonna be awesome summertime fishing during those full moons. And then as well as if you're running into any kind of dirty water conditions, so that super stained, muddy water, if you get a, you know, weather system come through, everything's muddied up, these big oversized blades are gonna be the deal. They come in a bunch of different dark colors, black, purple, black chartreuse, blue, different color blades. You can get black, copper like this one, and just, you know, a bunch of different configurations. Make sure you check all these out from Picasso. Another interesting lure we got, one that I'm super stoked about to try because it's totally unique. It's the Nishine stick bait. So what this was designed to mimic is a small baby catfish fry. So as you can see, it does a great job of that. I mean, it's covered in salt right now. When you get this thing wet and you can see all the details, it has small gill plates, little 3D eyes. What's cool about this bait is, since it is loaded with salt, it's a soft stick bait. It weighs a little bit more than a ½ ounce. So you can cast it like a bullet. I mean, it skips super well. So if you're looking for a new bait to skip under docks and overhanging limbs on a weightless Texas rig, definitely gonna wanna check this one out. And because the plastic is so dense and so soft, when you twitch it, it does have a nice swimming action, and it also works really well on like your little Tokyo rigs. You can flip it through mats. You can run it on a Carolina rig, a drop shot, just something that the fish have never seen before. You know, like I said, it excels really well on those, you know, weightless Texas rigs and those like those Tokyo rigs, those short drop shot style presentations. Just something really cool. You know, it also mimics gobies and, you know, other types of small fish that feed along the bottom. But, you know, something that most anglers never think about is mimicking a small catfish fry. Be sure to check these out from Nishine. All right, next up, we got some stuff coming from Spain. So a bunch of things from Longas Baits. So the first one here is their funnel jerk, and this is the funnel jerk jig head. So I grabbed these two because these are made to go together. You're supposed to match this jerkbait up with this jig head. So starting with this jig head, as you can see, it's got this unique concave silicone lip all the way around the outside of the jig head. And what this does is it catches water and it gives this awesome vibrating action. It's gonna be similar to like your vibrating jig, chatterbait, or even a scrounger type bait, but now with a full, you know, with this full jig head. So just gonna get that awesome vibrating action. And when you pair it up with the funnel jerk, it's a soft plastic jerkbait kind of style lure, but it has a flat tail. And then it has a lot more plastic up here in the head where you thread your hook at, and then it tapers down to this tail. So it's really thin plastic. And when you see this thing underwater, it just gets an awesome bait fish swimming action. So Two cool new lures. Make sure you match these up. With the jig head, you can run any kind of, any of your favorite 4 or 5 inch soft plastic swim baits if you don't want to run the funnel jerk. And then on the funnel jerk, you can use this on like a drop shot. You can run it on an EWG and work it just like a soft jerk bait. So a bunch of different things you can do with each, but you're gonna get maximum action when you pair them up. And then a couple other things we got from Longas. The first one here is their Inox mini series. So the Inox tails came out a few years ago, and now we have just a smaller version of that. See, as you can see, what's unique about it is it has these stainless steel tails embedded into the tail of the bait itself. So you're just gonna get a different flash and a totally different action than any other soft plastic out there on the market. These little guys are gonna be really good on kind of those slow presentations. You can run these on a drop shot is where it's gonna do really well, and then even like a split shot rig or something like that. And they also came out with their new Tiny Shad. So again, another unique soft plastic. It kind of has a flat profile similar to, like the shape of an actual shad, but still has that wide, tall profile. They made these things for fishing on like a Nico rig or a drop shot, anything like that. And as you can see, it has this little this tentacle tail, but they're kind of, all the tentacles are flat and in one line. So just, a great presentation of a little a little tiny bait fish out there. So looking for something a little bit different, you just don't want to throw the same plastic worm that everyone else is throwing out there on the lake. Check these out from Longas Baits. All right, next up, got a couple new tungsten pieces from Arsenal Baits. So Arsenal has got their new Blackout series of tungsten. So we got their flipping weights, and then we got their 2 different drop shot weights. We got the teardrop and then the cylinder shape. What I like about these is they all have that flat black finish on them. So it's a treated finish, so it's never gonna chip off or fade or anything like that. You can throw these into rocks all day, and then all of them have the size printed on the side of the weight. So you're never gonna forget, if you have an ounce, 3/4 ounce, half ounce, especially on the drop shot weights, you don't know if it's a quarter, 3/16, anything like that, stamped right there on the side, so you know exactly what you got, easy to maintain. I know in my pond fishing box I keep in a backpack, I got about 50 tungsten weights all in one little one little box. So it's hard to tell which ones are which sometimes. The stamp is a real nice feature they got. All right, from Japan. So we got the Madness Japan Balam 245. So this is the smaller version of the original 300 that we got a few years ago. So I say it's smaller, but it's still a 9.5 inch bait. It weighs 3.7 ounces. If you know anything about the Balam series, these have 4 joints in them, and these are deadly for fishing at high speed. So if you're a big bait angler, looking for a big swim bait that you can fish at really high speeds, there's not a lot of big swim baits on the market that you can really fish at rapid speeds and keep them tuned and running straight at high speed. So this is made for that, and it's gonna do a really good job of just, burning across the surface, triggering those aggressive reaction strikes. So it gets, great swimming action, loaded with, detail in the finish and the scale patterns and the gills and everything like that. Comes with slick gray Teflon coated, sticky sharp treble hooks, and then it has this soft silicone tail just to give it that little bit of extra action. And then you can also dead stick this bait if you want to, and that soft silicone tail, just any kind of water movement or current, that tail moves, and fish just can't resist it. It looks like a live fish up there on the surface. So make sure you check this out from Balam, or Madness Japan, the Balam 245. All right, little investment here to protect your graphs. So we got the new graph glass anti-glare screen protector. So, as you would get a screen protector for your phone, protect from damages and impacts and stuff like that, graph glass does a great job of protecting your expensive fish finders. I mean, some of these graphs are going for $2,000, $3,000. The last thing you want to do is have your buddy send a punch weight through it and break your screen. With the new anti-glare, it's going to provide the same protection as a tempered glass, so it's going to hold up to impacts really well. Just keep those screens protected. And these new anti-glare, it's going to make it a lot easier to see in those super bright sunny conditions. Sometimes, when you're trying to idle a spot and you're just at that right angle and the sun's glaring down, sometimes it's hard to actually get a good reading on the graph. This is going to reduce all those glares and just help you read your screen a lot more clearly. So we got the new anti-glare models of the graph glass here. All right, last up, we got new rod series are finally in stock from Ark. So we got the new Genesis 2-piece series of rods. So, two-piece rods and traveling rods are getting more and more popular. So people are want to have a nice quality rod to go travel with and not just have a cheap junky rod in the back of their car. Ark is giving you a premium rod that doesn't feel like a two-piece rod. So these come in at a $149 and they feel like a $149 rod. Even when you put the two pieces together, you put it in your hand, you flex them on the ground and check them out. They don't feel like a traditional two-piece rod that have a dead flat spot or they're not sensitive, not balanced right. Ark is giving you a rod that's completely balanced, premium cork handle, phenomenal reel seat, and you could fish tournaments with this and there'd be no problem. It doesn't feel like any other two-piece rod out there on the market. They got a 40-ton graphite blank, so super light, super sensitive. Fuji guides, just getting all the top components on it in a nice rod. And what's cool about these is they come with these nice neoprene cases, and then inside there's actually a divider. So each section of the rod is going into its own sleeve. So the blank material is not going to bang against each other. Your guides aren't going to bang against each other and nick up your rod or anything like that. So, nice feature, going to keep the rod in awesome condition and just keep it protected while you're traveling, driving around, anything like that. If you're looking for a nice two-piece rod, make sure you check out the Arks. We got them in the spinning models and casting models, so whatever you're looking for, they got you covered. All right, and last up, we got a new Sims shirt in stock. This is the Sims wing shirt. You want to get this one? Well, it's still in stock for the season. If you need a new t-shirt for going out fishing, going to the lake, or just hanging out with your buddies at home, this is the one you want to check out. This is the wings because it's got an eagle on the back made out of fishing rods. Just a super sweet shirt. Check them out. They're the cotton poly blend. They're super comfortable, just like all the Sim stuff. Super high quality. All right, for more information to purchase these products seen here today, make sure to click shop or the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this week's video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our page. Let us know in the comments which one of these products you're most pumped about.